Warning: the following podcast contains violent scenes that may be unsettling to some listeners. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, and welcome to Changing the Lost Vanity. Vanity is a first edition Chronicles of Darkness game set in southern Florida during the year 1993. Follow Katrina, played by Tillman, Raymond, played by Chris, Isabel, played by Andrew, Frank, played by Slavic, and Adam as the storyteller, as they uncover the mysteries of the true Fae and forge new paths for themselves in a world of beauty and madness. Follow us on Twitter at twin_cities_VTM for channel updates, and we hope you enjoy this episode.
Let's just do like a what we're all thinking. Let's start with Isabel.
Okay. Isabel is trying to kind of calm herself. She got a little irritated with Raymond and she genuinely does want to help. And she does want to, do what she can to make sure that, everybody's going to be safe. But she also knows that if she's too irritable and worked up and everything, that it's just going to ruin everything. And so she needs to kind of relax herself. So she is genuinely just trying to do, all the things okay, let's play some relaxing music, let's eat some food, have a couple of drinks, maybe then I'll chill out. And she's just trying to do that thing where she just blends into, and just socializes.
As you kind of get a feel for your surroundings and stuff like that in an attempt to relax, you kind of you turn the tape's volume down a little bit and then up a little bit, just tweaking it to make it the perfect comfortable volume, and kind of just mentally kind of clearing out a little bit, having a few sips of beer and just really trying to unwind, making a conscious effort to try to unwind and build the correct atmosphere for this to happen. This isn't your first rodeo when it comes to this, and you've probably seen your share of, great successes and not having things work as easily as you'd like them to because of the scenario that you're in. So you want things to be perfect or as perfect as you can get them at the moment. So you're kind of just trying to make that happen at the moment. Frank, what's going on in your head right now?
He's just very confused with all that's going on. It's just, he thought he's gonna grab a beer, some food, relax. Now there's all this stuff that needs to be done, and just
wasn't what
another day
you
on the
expected
job.
kind of coming into this. You literally arrived and things kind of just exploded for a second before you even could get comfortable. So that's definitely understandable. Katrina, what are you thinking about right now?
So Katrina wants to lighten the mood a little bit, for herself. She needs to do something. So she approaches Isabel and says, "Come on, I'll show you some cha-cha steps. How much do you know?"
I just responding to him she can dance. She knows how, but she will definitely join in.
Katrina, would you kind of see yourself as somewhat of a mediator? You don't seeing all this kind of conflict is uncomfortable for you, maybe, or
yes,
how do
exactly.
you?
It's
Okay.
uncomfortable, and she feels like she needs to do something, not to just help the situation unwind.
Right.
But also, she can't just sit there, and probably the wine on an empty stomach is kicking it a little bit because she's a lightweight. So she'll fumble around with Isabel, trying to show her some dance moves.
Isabel's into it. She'll dance with you. She's definitely the type who's she's into both men and women. And you wanting to dance with her, she is into that. Whether you mean it that way or not, she is definitely enjoying herself with you.
And you, Isabel, you also would probably see this as kind of a way to kind of shake some of the anger you were just feeling just a second ago, and to try to get yourself in that right mindset, doing some things that are fun and just trying to cut loose and just not be so serious, even though what you're deep down in the back of your head, you understand that if what you see is what Charlie has said you're going to see pretty much, then things are going to be very uncomfortable for you in a little bit. But you've just kind of put that in the back. That's on the back burner for right now. And you're able to, and it's almost like a really like disciplined thing to kind of be able to separate the actual fear you might be feeling towards that and just kind of being able to like dance and just like put yourself in the right mindset to make this work. And Raymond, what's going on with you right now?
Raymond just thinks this is foolhardy, like he's sitting there like trying to pretend like he's having fun or whatever and cooking, but to be honest, he doesn't have that much joy in life, and so for while they're singing and dancing and whatever, kind of having the fun they have, this is just not who he is. He's not going to be outwardly negative about it. You know what I mean? He's not like sitting there being like, a party pooper, you know what I mean? But he's definitely internally thinking this is foolish, but he understands that she says this has to be done to get what he needs, then more power to it. You know what I mean? He just doesn't understand how, in his mind, it's really hard for him to wrap his mind around the fact that people don't have the same reaction to what's going on as he does. Now, as a player, mind you, as a player, I totally fucking get that. But in the character's head, he's not understanding why people aren't ready to call the cavalry. You know what I mean? And like do what they have to root this out. And almost in a way, too, it's like it's really fucking with his head. You know what I mean? Because he really, in his head, thought that, he got the reputation he did with a couple of people because of that when he got angry and snapped and killed that one guy years ago. And so in his head, he always thought that well, okay, he got accolades for doing that. You know what I mean? If the situation ever came around to where one of these things came back or came to the town, everyone would be reacting like him. And now he's seen that, like, wait, like this whole freehold that's built on like, mutual protection or whatever. And he's like, not everyone's up in arms about this. You know what I'm saying? Like he's even a little let down that Norma isn't, you know what I mean? And that you get me? Like it seems like there's all these other ulterior motives now, especially hearing about the drugs, you know what I mean, in his head, and that being dealt by his kind. He's just like starting to, the faith I guess he had, quote unquote, in the freehold or in the system is slowly starting to like chip away, and he's witnessing it here firsthand. He's like seeing these people who, I mean, I would say he cares about Katrina. You know what I mean? And he cares about every changeling, but he feels a connection with Katrina, not as strong as he would with Frank and Isabel, but he's just like not understanding it. He's not getting it. And in part of his mind, he's thinking like, this is why they keep doing what they do. And this is why they keep winning. And these creatures keep, you know what I mean, getting away with this stuff because we are just sitting here trying to pretend for the life of us that they don't exist, But out of character, it's fucking cool. I love it. You know what I mean? It's just in his head, he's just not. He can't rap it. He can't do it. You know what I mean? He can put the movements and pretend he is, but just internally he can't. You know what I mean? It's
right.
alien.
And so you're like at the moment right now, like you're like a little bit disillusioned because things are just like not really what you thought they were entirely. This thing is this threat is so imminent right now, and you're seeing so many people kind of either shy away from it or just try to say maybe it's something else, or it's a lot of everything but just facing it and saying like, if this is what we think it is, like this is fucked up, and we need to act like militantly. We need to like strike, and that's kind of like you have like a really almost like summer court state of mind when it comes to that. Like you believe in defending yourself against the true Fae, like almost above all. And I mean, you identify with Autumn because that's your court, and something about their court emotion has connected with you, and but just seeing like the way that people are reacting to this, it's just not what you expected. That's not to discredit any of the other people in your freehold. It's just totally not how you imagined people would react to this. It's kind of just unsettling to you a little bit.
Yeah. Because like he lived an autumn life for the last 10 years. He wasn't like proactively like, we got to hunt them down or whatever. You know what I mean? He was just like trying to escape his pain. But now that's back. Yeah, his mentality has very much gone into that, and I would almost say like he feels like, because he goes, like, how I mentioned in character creation, he'll go like where his temporal come out and he'll crash really hard, and he can feel that tickling on the back of his neck, like that depressive, you know what I mean, like manic state that he knows is not going to hit him anytime soon, but he can really like feel that letdown he feels is opening the door for that depression to come, through. Especially hearing like Norma knows about these drugs and absolutely didn't do anything about it.
Exactly. And you're let down by that, and there's a part of you that is almost like, if that's true, then what can I even trust if Norma has kind of known about this, and it's a weird thing, and it's like it's hard. You've seen, based on what Katrina has explained to you, that like Norma basically knew about this shadiness that was going on and kind of shied away from it because it was difficult to face. And that's sort of like a trend that you're seeing a lot in this Freehold, which, to you was a very, very like cohesive group that kind of just like ran itself without any kind of problems. Every season the leaders change, and everything here just seems like such a stark difference to Miami. But now you're starting to think like maybe this is all the same shit, just in a different place, and no matter how much we kid ourselves about whatever, it's the same kind of bullshit is going on. So
is the kid asleep yet? Is he falling asleep? Is he still awake? What's going on with him?
Okay, I want to say about a half hour goes by, and it's kind of like, it's almost like a sleeping baby. You just like don't want to wake. Like every couple of minutes, you guys will kind of like peek in, hoping not to disturb him and wake him up any further. We'll actually say it's taking a little bit longer than I said. Not like a half hour or so. We'll say you guys are hanging out for like 2 hours, kind of just like goofing off. And at this point, I'm imagining you're probably getting a little bit restless. The sun is starting to go down. It's like 7:30, and you're starting to see that pinkish color in the sky as the sun is making its descent, and it's becoming nighttime. All of you have been kind of periodically checking in to see if he's finally been able to ease himself into a sleep. And finally, you see that the shivering underneath the blanket is stopped, and you think this may be the chance right now.
So, noticing this, Isabel will kind of like look at all of you and just be like, okay, I think I can do this.
Would it help you if I can ensure that he stayed asleep while you're doing this?
It'll be fine. I can make him dream as long as I need him to. As long as he's actually asleep.
Out of character, here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to need to know if I need to do my contract or not, because I'm worried with him being restless and, you know what I'm saying, and like the going through the withdrawals if he'd wake up. But I mean, if she says it's good, it should be good, right?
So out of character, given Charlie's like current state right now, there's definitely going to be like a -1. You could do that. You could do that. I don't know like how you would feel about doing that. Like how would Raymond feel about doing something like that to another changeling? Like, I mean, I know that in this situation it's for the greater good, but would he feel any sort of apprehension about using Fey magic on one of his own kind?
No, not if I think that Charlie showed me that he wants to help. You know what I mean? And that I think this is extreme.
You guys made a whole pact about it, so
yeah. This is extreme. So like my mind, and I'm going to say this in character, okay? Like, and I'll look at her and I'll be like, I can ensure it's easier for you by making sure he doesn't awake. Can I describe how I feel that he would do it? You know what I mean? Or is there a specific like rule in this? Okay.
You're gonna let him try to do his thing before. Okay.
Yeah. If he he's trying to help. He is.
I totally am trying to help.
So,
but Isabel, you probably are getting this. I mean, you know that this is a sensitive situation, and you kind of aren't sure how he views this whole situation, and like there's probably some apprehension that he's going to fuck it up, and it's going to make it actually harder for you.
I would be on that side if it wasn't for us hanging out for 2 hours, just chilling, and relaxing. After all of that, she's more like, okay, go ahead and do your thing.
Right. Okay.
So otherwise, she would have been like, nah, no, I'll do this. You need to back the fuck off. But right now, she's like, okay, you want to help? You let me just relax and do all this stuff. All right, okay, go ahead.
So out of character, I'm not. If I do this, I'm helping her, right?
Yeah, we don't know. It's up to Adam.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, I mean, so basically, out of character, this is
Yeah.
how it's going to work. If you do
Balm on the Unwakeable Slumber.
yeah, what is it? Like darkness
3.
Darkness, yeah. If you do darkness 3 on him, you're gonna lessen the difficulty for Isabel, and he's going to stay asleep. If you don't do it, it's going to be more difficult for Isabel, and there's like always the possibility that he's not going to stay asleep or whatever.
So I'm going to do that first. So I guess what I'm going to do is just ask, like, is Frank and Katrina, are you guys going to be in the living room while we do this? Or are you guys staying outside?
Well, I'm probably going to use my gift first just to make the room more comfortable for everyone.
All right,
So,
cool.
yeah, I'll probably just, take one of those things to flip steaks, whatever, just pick up a coal, walk into the room, and then, he spits on the fading ember. And wait, I have to roll. And I'm going to pop a willpower point on this because I don't have much. It's survival plus weird. I have 2 points in survival, 1 in weird. So
Leaning on the wall.
I managed to fail that roll. Yeah, nothing happens.
Watch the group.
I blow on it and just spit on it.
That's so weird. That's so funny though. If you're like spitting on the grill to try to do the catch, and it's just like
It fails to
just kind of
ignite.
fizzles out.
I'm sorry, guys. I guess I'm just not in the right mood for it.
Isabel
Oh.
totally gets that.
So when I when he's done there, I just kind of like motion for the others to back up a couple feet, you know what I mean? And I go up to him while he's laying on the couch, you know what I mean? And I like kneel by like his head, and I can almost picture like him like gently grabbing the sides of Charlie's head, and like he takes a deep breath, like he keeps his head above his, like not like facing face to face, but like is looking up and takes like a deep breath and through his nose, and then he turns and looks down at Charlie with his eyes closed and just like breathes out like some of the and it looks almost like some of the smoke that is within him, you know what I mean? To like to almost like cover his face like a mist almost to kind of like ensure that he's like going to be asleep. So it's like and like I would say even like the extended breath would almost seem like it goes on longer than it should, as it's like blowing out onto his face. So to do that, I need to spend
give me manipulation plus weird.
Yep.
And it's going to be against Charlie's resolve in weird. So that's it's going to be against 3 dice here. So
I need manipulation and weird. So manipulation is 3, weird is 1. Can I spend a willpower?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll spend a willpower. Just so you know, I'm down to 2 willpower and 2 glamour. So 3 successes.
Okay, so yeah, that definitely works then. So yeah, he's just completely out now, and you just kind of see like it's almost like the stress in his face, that vein that's kind of sticking out of his forehead, that pain you can kind of see in his expression just fades as he experiences this deep, real sleep, and he's just out cold.
I stand up slowly and I like put my hand on like the arm of the couch to like help myself up, and I just kind of take like 3 steps in the opposite direction where they are at against my wall. I'm looking at him, waiting for Isabel to do what she needs to do.
So while you guys are kind of, while you do this and then you sort of back away for Isabel to do her thing, there's kind of this sense that you guys are just like working as like a complete like unit right now. It's unspoken. You're just doing this thing and she's going to go, you're making room for her to do the next thing. And you guys are moving in silence, and you just hear this subtle, soft rock playing very lowly from the cassette player. Katrina is kind of leaning in the doorway, observing all this happens. Frank is standing in a corner. Both of them just kind of leaving you to the room to try to get this to work correctly. Katrina, what are you thinking right now? Like seeing Raymond do this?
I'm just watching intently, like pondering whether this is really the right thing to do to Charlie right now. Like, he looks miserable still, right?
No, so you sort of saw this miserable look on his face just kind of wash away as Raymond put him into this total sedated sleep, this unwakeable state of sleep. It was like the sleep that he was in before was almost like a half sleep while he tried to shake off the pain of his detox.
Okay, but I think
Sorry.
I still get some creepy vibes from it, like
Right, and it's a very
it
weird
looks
thing to
a
observe.
bit
I
like
mean,
euthanasia.
yeah,
He was in the deepest pain, and now it was taken away. Like, it seems weird.
yeah, definitely. It would look very weird. Raymond, you stand up and kind of back away for Isabel to step in.
Yeah, Isabel is gonna kind of like go around to the side of the couch. You know how they have like the little arms on the side there. She kind of faces that. His head's there, and just lowers her forehead down and touches her forehead to his. And yeah, this is using forging the dream. It's weird. I'm gonna use a willpower on this, and you let me know if I have any bonus dice or anything like that. And I'll kind of describe it when I roll the pool.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say it's gonna be +1 for this person. It's gonna be +1 for the fact that Raymond just put him in a very deep sleep with his contract, and it's gonna be +1 for the low mood music and lighting and the kind of setup that you've kind of carefully planned. It takes a little bit of feng shui to make the room, like a more calming and welcoming place. So go ahead and add all those onto your roll. No minuses. I was going to do a -1 if Raymond, if Charlie wasn't in a complete deep sleep, but
one success.
One success. Okay.
One, yeah, with 9 dice, 1 success. So it's not an exceptional success, but it's a success. So
it works, and I mean, yeah, but you feel like a little bit of resistance as you try to enter it, but you make your way into his wandering, dream as his head kind of is just like you see these thoughts just sort of shifting around.
So I just kind of picture this there's like these swirling images in his mind. He's in his fevered state and seeing all these disassociated things, and she just kind of like steps into all of that as like the one calm, focused point of her present in his dream, and just whispering in his ear and says to him, show me what you saw. And just getting him to get his own mind to focus on this thing that he saw. Getting him to show me, his what he saw in his dreams, kind of forging like the memory and helping him shape it to like what specifically happened that exact night, drawing upon his own memories and his dreams to just kind of make this scene replay out. It may not be exactly right, but that's okay. It's enough to kind of give me like confirmation or not.
You are inside of the dream right now, and you whisper to Charlie, show me what happened that night. And you sort of like see that your surroundings begin to kind of change little by little. You notice like it's almost like somebody's like painting a picture around you, and things start to change to what appears to be the night that Charlie described. You see him. This is like you're viewing it as if it was like a camera, as if you're a camera on the outside, just kind of seeing this all happen. It feels like you're just standing there watching, but you're not actually there. It's like a very disassociative sort of feeling, but not one that you're unfamiliar with. And you start to see, the night sky kind of paint above you, and you see the surrounding of palm trees and a few houses start to fill in your peripheral vision until you're watching Charlie kneeling below this window outside of a house, and you can almost feel his heart bumping as he just waits there. And then he's just waiting, and something just changes. The dream just starts to shift. And you get this rush of just like pure adrenaline as you find yourself just instantly transported back to Charlie's grandmother's house, the place that you guys had all driven to together to retrieve Charlie. And it's like you're seeing things through his eyes for a second as he walks into his bedroom and gazes upon himself sleeping, and he just watches for a second, and you can just feel this just heart just beating out of your own chest. It feels like you are him for this moment, and it's just so powerful. This fear that you feel just making the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. And he's just staring at himself as he sleeps in this bed. And then he just grabs the sleeping figure by the throat and just starts to just wail on its head with a what looks like a metal tool, just over and over, just in a complete frenzy, just over and over and over. And you just feel this like blood rush as he's just violently just losing himself and just attacking this figure. And the blood sprays up on your face, and you just hear these terrible sounds of just gurgling and pain as you end this thing's life, and it turns to straw and objects and tinsel and dust before you. And then you kind of, things start to go black a little bit. It just starts to fade out, and you find yourself awake, and Charlie is now currently awake, and he's just totally manic. Whatever had just happened has broken the contract somewhat, and he's just like up in the room. This is like the dream has kind of just like come to like an abrupt halt, and he is on his feet trying to escape the room. At the same time. Yeah, you guys both just in an instant snap awake. And he wakes up and he's screaming, and he's just like, what the fuck? And he's just trying to leave. He's ready to jump out the window, and he just gets up off the couch and just tries to bolt.
Which I imagine like Frank and Raymond are not going to let that happen.
No.
Yeah, I'm trying to rush towards them. Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys want to, you're able to stop him before he even, is able to make it fully off the couch. He's in like a really weakened state, but this really surprises you because that wasn't supposed to happen at all. And now things are starting to, the weird behavior that you saw from him earlier that made you kind of question if this was just a natural reaction to detoxing or if this is something weirder or usual or unusual. It's all starting to kind of, this is adding to that suspicion that whatever's going on with him is not usual.
She didn't see any vision of the true Fae that he said he saw, right?
It changed to a different memory completely.
I had started to see it, and then like
almost as if he tried to show you, and then it just sort of switched to this other memory that he had. I'm gonna cut to you, Isabel, and how you like are feeling from all this in a second, but you just see Charlie is just, he's in this feeling of just totally like that bewilderment that you saw earlier, but now it's just panic, just total disassociation of himself. He has no idea where he is. He just wants to get the fuck out. He's in pure survival mode.
Okay. So Isabel kind of recoils visibly, just like she was just shoved backwards, from him. Whenever the two of them woke up, she just, stumbles a bit, backs up, and she's just kind of frantic and looking around and like getting a sense for back where she is, what's going on. She wasn't expecting this kind of outcome at all, and just kind of getting trying to center herself.
Katrina will run toward her and like hold her so she doesn't fall down.
She's kind of gives her like a grateful kind of like leaning on her as support, just kind of like, "Oh, thank you, just kind of just steadying herself, calming her breathing. She's kind of maybe a little bit hyperventilating at first, and just kind of relaxing and just
Don't want to push, but did you see it?
she's kind of like shaking her head, kind of like really almost imperceptibly to the others, just like, no, I didn't see it at all.
Like there's confusion in Katrina's
Yeah, there's
face,
confusion
like,
on my face too.
I'm going. Do I hear that while I'm like holding on to Charlie, trying to get him to sit down? Do I hear them say that?
You can hear that, although at this point, Charlie is starting to like scream bloody murder.
Okay.
He's literally just screaming for his life at this point. There's just something is just, he doesn't know where he is at this point. He's unable to figure out who you guys are. It's just like amnesia or something, and he's just screaming.
I'm gonna say, like, forgive me. Like, I know he probably doesn't hear me, and as I like grab like both of his shoulders, I'm trying to pin him down. I'm gonna like move my hands up and grab his face again, and I'm just going to use the witch's intuition. And one thing that like I could picture almost like him doing with the witch's intuition is like he almost like his face almost loses its form. You know what I mean? Like that he has at the time, and starts like almost like I could like for some reason I'm like thinking like Cthulhu like shit. You know what I mean? Like his face starts like changing shape like in the smoky thing, and starts like expanding and withdrawing, and it like doesn't even look like a face anymore. And
it
just
can
like
definitely do that. Yeah.
There's like all these random like shadow teeth that come around, and like it just starts to like almost like a symbiotic like like starts like shooting out in a way as it's like trying to find like a form of his fear as he's like staring into his face. I think I need to roll a wits plus weird minus the subject's composure, and I get a +1 modifier because I have a pledge, right? I have a pledge with him.
Okay.
If you look on 156, I'll let you look.
His composure is 2, by the way.
Wits and weird. Fucking wits. I need a higher weird, man. Wits and weird. That's 4.
That's like a generation for vampires. It's one of those things where it's like really hard to get.
Now
you have to spend a lot of XP or whatever to get it.
I have 2 willpower left. If I spend 1, I mean, I'm like really scraping the bottom of the bucket at that time, right? I mean, like, and I have to spend a glamour. What happens if you're down to 1 glamour?
I think you probably would just be like
super
starved for glamour, but the thing is, you can't harvest off other changelings.
Okay, gotcha. No worries. I thought
no worries. It's just like
I think you feel an emptiness. It isn't like hunger and vampire. It's like you're drained, basically. Like
I'll go with the character. You know how he's feeling at the moment. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna spend a willpower below the glamour. You said his is 2. His composure's 2.
Yep.
So wits and wild.
Willpower
7.
gives you 3 extra dice.
-2, 5 dice. 5 dice. And then do I get a +1? If you look on 157, there's a suggested modifiers. It says +1 if the character has a pledge with the target.
Yep, you guys have a pledge together, so go ahead and do
dice.
a +1 to that.
Okay, so 1 success.
All right, so this idea just rushes to your head, and it's just Charlie looking at a reflection of himself, and then that thought just kind of fades from you.
And he's still freaking out, right?
Yeah, he's still just freaking out. You'd have to put your hand over his mouth to get him to stop screaming at this point. I'm imagining everybody in the room is very alarmed by this. Like it's kind of, there's a person screaming. This thing just ended in such this abrupt and, chaotic manner. And
I'm just gonna like try to put my hand over his mouth, and like look back at everyone and be like, help, please help me, help. And I'm just like starting to like pleadingly look at him because I'm fucking like my guy's at you know what I mean, scraping the bottom of the bucket now, you know what I mean, and he's like it feels helpless.
Isabel just looks at Frank expectantly.
Can anyone calm him down? Help.
Frank will run to him quickly. It's just, start to slowly, I guess.
Just hold him down till he relaxes.
Hold him. Yeah.
Did any of you have any way to calm him down? Do any of you have a way to calm him down?
Isabel will kind of kneel at his side as like Frank's like holding on to him. He's struggling and just kind of like, shh, relax. It's okay. Calm down. You're not going to be hurt. Just kind of like talking to him. She's just kind of trying like verbally try and relax him through a soothing voice and see if that works. Is that a thing I can try and roll? Like maybe empathy or something? I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so give me a...
I've got expression. Socialize. I don't think that fits here, but I've got expression.
Okay.
If you want me to do empathy, I could do empathy. I don't get a dice penalty because of being a fairist.
Okay, yeah. Let's think. Let's do empathy and
Presence.
Does
striking looks apply? I don't think so. Maybe.
I mean, if you can make an argument for that, I mean, like striking looks, like it could be comforting to
get his attention and just like, shh, it's okay, relax. Cupping his
yeah,
face.
I'll say yeah. We can apply that definitely.
Okay, so presence.
Yeah, the way I'm seeing it is like, if this goes well, like using your striking looks, like he's gonna see you as this like angelic figure that's kind of just like telling him,
I have one success.
Yeah, he stopped screaming and he's just looking around panicked, and then his eyes just catch Raymond and something clicks with him and he's just, Raymond, what the fuck is happening right now? He's slowly coming to. Where the fuck am I?
See, like Raymond takes like a couple deep breaths and he's like shaking. You know what I mean? Like a little bit, like, and his face is like contorted, and he's just, because it's back to his normal form, and you just like, he's having a hard time, especially the moment like Charlie's like Raymond, like putting all this pressure on him to like answer all his questions, and Raymond just like gets up and turns around and just like bolts out the front door and just starts like walking towards the ocean.
Oh my god, you run away.
Yeah, walks towards the ocean and is just like fucking having like this, you know what I mean? Like he needs air, you know what I mean? Like all this shit is just like, well, yeah, I'm trying to play the lore. I'm trying to play the having the low willpower and the only the one in weird right now, you know what I mean? And him just feeling like he's like, this is all just fucking too much pressure at the moment. And he just like shoots out there and he's just like, he's almost feeling like runs out of his porch front door, you know what I mean? And walks out, like runs out to the beach and stops like right where the tide is coming in. And it's just like, like almost like he feels like he's, you know what I mean? Like having a panic attack, not having a panic attack, but he feels like he's very close and he just kind of drops to his knees and he's just trying to like, just calm himself down, like put his fingers into the sand, and just kind of like trying to escape whatever is in there because it's just all becoming too much for him at the moment. I think that's a good point.
I want to follow him, and you said he's falling to his knees.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to use Vainglory 1, Mask of Superiority.
Ooh.
What does that do?
Like,
cool shit.
Approach him, not comfort him, like not bend down to him. So I approach a superior posture and say, you need to calm down, Raymond. This is at least the third time today that you've completely lost it. Charlie depends on you. I think I need to roll.
So it's weird plus
intimidation
minus resolve.
It's minus Raymond's resolve,
which is 2.
So first, I think I need to spend 2 glamour. Is that correct?
You're not pretending to be a socialite or a celebrity from like high standing, so
I spent 2 glamour. It's what was it again? Weird intimidation.
Minus my resolve.
Yeah, minus his 2.
Okay, I failed. Perfect.
Raymond is like, what?
That went swimmingly.
Hello, folks. Have you ever wished you could have an easy way to find gameplay videos and podcasts, or just media in general that deals with your favorite White Wolf role-playing games? Or have you ever wished you could find a forum to share gameplay that you have recorded, one which wouldn't be drowned out by random posts and discussion, so that your media could get the attention you want? Well, we have the answer for you in a Facebook group we run called White Wolf RPGs Gameplay and Media. The group is specifically ran with the sole intent of it being a one-stop shop for people to view or share media involving the games we all love. We take thorough steps to ensure the page does not become cluttered and is easy to traverse. We are currently over 1,000 members strong, and we are continuing to rapidly grow, with new media being shared every day. Stop on by. We hope to see you there. High Level Games, the industry's first choice in taking your games to the next level. We are a podcast blog and new media network at highlevelgames.ca. We have blog posts about all of your favorite games going up 5 days a week, and a podcasting network with actual plays and shows that discuss role-playing games, with more rolling out all the time. We are on iTunes, Twitch, and YouTube. Find out more information at highlevelgames.ca, a site that certainly isn't controlled by a shadowy board of directors of otherworldly origin. That's highlevelgames.ca.
Please, help. They're coming.
The Los Angeles metropolitan area is constantly growing and changing. The Central District is full of new buildings. The Hollywood and Wilshire districts, once far from downtown, now are part of which spreads past Beverly Hills and out to the ocean. But why is all this going on in Los Angeles? Why is Los Angeles an exploding city?
Neon Masquerade.
The Demon's Mirror.
13 Candles.
3 Chronicles running through the undead veins of the City of Angels.
The Esoteric Order of Role Players Actual Play podcast invites you to drink deeply.
Go to eorpodcast.com and search the Duets tag to find out more.